It was a golden late afternoon in Nashville, Music City's heart beating strong around the famous strip where legends are born and sold. The Gibson garage-inspired boutique, now a privately owned high-end chain, stood gleaming on Broadway's edge, its interior a cathedral of tonewoods and spotlights. Rows of sunburst Les Pauls and vintage acoustics lined the walls like sacred relics, but everyone's eyes always drifted to the centerpiece. A locked glass case holding the Ramirez custom masterpiece, a flame maple-topped, hand-inlaid acoustic electric valued at precisely $100,000. Its mother-of-pearl vine inlays caught the light like frozen lightning, the spruce top aged to perfection, the Brazilian rosewood back and sides whispering history. The door chimed softly. In walked Maya Ramirez, 19 now, still in the same worn jeans and duct-taped backpack she'd carried since high school. Her sneakers squeaked faintly on the polished floor. She carried no entourage, no flashy jewelry, just quiet purpose and the faint scent of diner coffee from her last shift 3 states ago. She walked directly to the case, eyes never wavering. Victor Hargrove, the store's longtime manager, spotted her instantly. 45, impeccably tailored, he had built his reputation on knowing exactly who belonged and who didn't. In his mind, this young black woman in thrift store clothes screamed browser, maybe even trouble. He moved fast, intercepting her before she could get too close. "Miss," he said, voice carrying across the quiet showroom, "that instrument is not for casual handling. It's $100,000, custom one of a kind. If you're just looking, I suggest the wall models over there. We don't want any accidents." Maya turned slowly. "I'm not looking. I want to play it." Victor's laugh was sharp, performative. Heads turned. A couple browsing pedals paused. An older collector lowered his phone mid-video. "Play it? Darling, appointments for touch tests on this piece are booked 6 months out. You need credentials, a platinum card, something. Security's right over there if we need them." The room held its breath. Phones rose subtly, everyone sensed content. "From where city you are watching, put down your city name in comment section." Maya didn't raise her voice. She reached into her backpack and placed a faded Polaroid on the glass counter. Her father, Raymond Ramirez, mid-40s, smiling in his small luthier workshop in Memphis, the very same guitar cradled in his arms years before he sold it to fund her dreams. This was his last build, she said almost to herself. 14 months. Every inlay hand-cut. He worked nights at the factory to afford the woods. 2 months after he sold it, he never came home from shift. Heart attack on the line. "I've been chasing this guitar ever since. Busking, waiting tables, saving every cent. It's the last piece of him I don't have." Victor glanced at the photo. Something flickered, recognition of the name Ramirez, perhaps guilt, but pride won. Touching story. Still doesn't change policy. "Step back, please." Maya exhaled once. Then, in a motion so smooth it looked rehearsed, she flicked the case latch. Someone had forgotten to lock it after a VIP showing earlier, lifted the guitar free and walked to the center performance stool. The store froze. Guards hesitated. Victor's mouth opened but no sound came. She sat, adjusted the strap, plugged into the boutique's pristine two-rock amp, closed her eyes for 3 heartbeats. Then her fingers danced. What erupted was not practice room noodling. It was a torrent, soulful open chords giving way to intricate Travis picking, lightning sweeps up the neck, bends that wept like a lost lover calling home, harmonics chiming like church bells in a storm. The melody told a story without words. A father's hands shaping wood, a daughter's grief turned to fire, resilience forged note by note. The sound filled every corner, rattled display cases, spilled through open doors onto Broadway. Tourists outside stopped dead, drawn like moths. Inside, a silver-haired man in a cowboy hat clutched his chest and whispered, "Lord have mercy." A woman in pearls let tears fall freely. Victor stood paralyzed, arms limp, face the color of old paper, watching the masterpiece he'd kept come alive in hands he'd dismissed. Maya played on, 8 minutes, 9, building to a climax of double stops and cascading runs that felt impossible on an acoustic. When the final note hung, shimmering, the room exploded. Applause thundered. Phones captured it all. Live streams were already climbing thousands of viewers. She stood, gently returned the guitar to its stand, and pulled a crisp cashier's check from her backpack. $106,500, tax included. She slid it across. Victor's hands trembled as he processed it. Approved in seconds. But Maya leaned in, voice steady and clear enough for every recording device to catch. My father taught me music doesn't check credit scores or skin tones. It only asks if your soul can answer back. You looked at me and saw nothing. You've probably done it to hundreds before me. Kids with dreams, women with talent, people who don't fit your idea of buyer. Today that ends. She paused, letting the silence stretch. Last month this chain was acquired. Quietly. I consulted on the deal because I've been headlining under a stage name for 2 years now, enough to buy more than one store. My legal name is Maya Ramirez. As of today, I own this location and 3 others. New policy starts immediately. No more gatekeeping based on appearance. Mandatory anti-bias training for every employee. And Victor. She met his eyes directly. You're suspended without pay, pending full review and possible termination. Security will escort you to collect your things. Effective now. Chaos erupted. Cheers, gasps, someone shouted, yes. Victor staggered back, knocking into a stand of picks. Guards, suddenly unsure, moved to comply with the new boss. Maya lifted the guitar case, slung her backpack and walked toward the exit. Then applause erupted. Thunderous. Phones captured every second. Live streams rocketed past 10,000 viewers already. Maya stood slowly, returned the guitar to its stand with infinite care, and pulled a folded cashier's check from her backpack. $106,500, tax and fees covered. Victor's fingers shook as he scanned it. Transaction approved instantly. But Maya leaned forward, voice calm and cutting through the noise. My father believed music belongs to whoever can feel it deepest, not whoever has the biggest wallet or the right skin tone. You looked at me and saw, not enough. You've probably turned away hundreds like me. Kids with fire in their fingers, women with stories in their strings, people who don't match your customer profile. Today that stops. She let the words land. 30 days ago this entire chain was acquired in a private deal. I advised on it because for the last 3 years I've been touring under the stage name Legacy Reign, headlining mid-size venues, festival slots, enough to fund more than a few locations. My legal name is Maya Ramirez. Effective today, I own this store and 4 others. New directives start now. Appearance-based profiling ends. Every employee completes mandatory bias and customer equity training within the month. And Victor. She fixed him with a steady gaze. You're placed on immediate unpaid administrative leave pending a full internal investigation and review. Security will escort you to gather personal items. You're done here for now. The showroom detonated, cheers mixed with gasps. Someone yelled, "Legend." Victor reeled backward, knocking over a stand of strap locks, face ashen as guards, now following the new chain of command, moved in to comply. Maya lifted the hardshell case, slung her backpack and headed for the exit. At the door she paused, turned one final time. Thank you for protecting it until I could bring it home. She stepped into the warm Nashville evening, the flame maple case catching the last rays like embers. Behind her, the store pulsed with aftershocks. Videos exploded online. Views climbing into the tens of millions overnight. Headlines blared, "Undercover guitar heiress schools snobby manager in viral $100,000 showdown." Comment sections overflowed with shared stories of dismissal, gatekeeping, quiet triumphs. Maya didn't crave the viral storm. She just wanted her father's final creation played, cherished, alive. But in those 10 defiant minutes under the spotlight, she did more than buy a guitar. She shattered ceilings, rewrote rules, and reminded the world that sometimes the person you try to bar at the door is the one destined to own the whole building. And somewhere in the echoes of old Memphis workshops, Raymond Ramirez's calloused hands strummed along in perfect time, proud at peace because his daughter hadn't just reclaimed an instrument. She'd reclaimed the future.